Sophie.
Hello, and I'm Jim.
And we're gonna show you our van. Swedish, so we have a real Swedish rule, which is no shoes allowed inside.
Of course, no shoes inside, so always take off your shoes when you enter our house. So we can start off here. Here we have our fold-out table. So this is how it looks when we cook, standing here outside, and perfect, and no fumes inside of the van.
It's really teamwork when we're cooking, so I give Jim all the food in his pan, and then he handles the fire.
Yeah.
And then inside we have our kitchen block. We both love cooking. So we have cabinets on both sides with a big sink and a swivel tap.
Yeah, and this one just pulls out, so whenever you want to spray someone outside the van, you can do that. And underneath the sink here, we have a 20-liter grey water tank.
Down here, we have our special hatch where we have our toilet, which we can pull out, and then it just slides back in again. This is our lounge area. Everything is one area, but over here we sit, eat. We have a lagoon table which can swivel all around, and what we can also do is extend the leg and hire it, so we have a 360 kitchen. So underneath here we have storage, and our diesel heater is located in there as well. So down in the bottom of the couch we have the output of the diesel heater, which is down here. This is where we turn on and off our diesel heater, and we also have a remote control for that. And then over here we have overhead cabinets. This one is some personal stuff, and over here we have all our food collection. And the window, of course, it opens, and then we have a mosquito net and a blinding curtain too.
And you cut it in by yourself?
Yeah. The frame, everything, all by ourselves.
And how it was the building process for the van?
Well, I think we both didn't have any experience in building a van.
Not much, no.
But we just went for it, and we learned step by step.
Yeah, basically we just did a lot of research and a lot of measurements, and then just improvised really and how to build a van, and then it was really tricky, and we had a lot of fun.
We both like to work on the details, so the finishing touch I think took the longest.
Yeah.
To get everything smooth, and like the window frames and stuff took quite a while to fix all of that.
And how long did it take to build it?
We built the van in around 2.5 months. Really full-time job from morning till evening for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And how much did it cost, all the process, the van and the building process?
We bought the van for about 8,000 euros, and then we spent another around 10,000 euros on the whole build, and all the material.
With all off-grid system, with everything?
Yeah.
We ended up paying around 20,000 for the whole van.
Did you use some repurposed materials or mostly new?
Mostly, actually a mix of both. This table is a old table from my grandmother, and then this one is, which is almost as similar as this one, but this one is from the store. So we tried to mix it and use old material as much as possible wherever we could.
Yeah, but in the end, if you're making new stuff like all the plywood, most of you see is plywood, we cut it all into size to our wishes.
Yeah.
But some details are also stuff we already had from our apartment. And so a lot of our kitchen stuff is also in the fridge. We have a 65-liter fridge, and we wanted to have like a one which we just can open to get everything out very easily. And then in our drawers we just have a lot of kitchen stuff, also a lot of unnecessary stuff. But we added all the sliders in the drawers, and then we thought, yeah, it will stay closed. But then while we were driving the first time, all the drawers were opening, so we added extra magnets on all of them. And as you can see, we have a lot of plants in the van. They're actually all from our old apartment, and we couldn't say goodbye to them, so we decided to take them all with us. And then over here on this side, we have our electrical system. So we just have our panel for all our lights, the fan and the water pump. We have some dimmers for the lights. We have an inverter as well, which we turn on and off on this panel over here. We have a max air fan. And then the last thing we installed was our shunt. We first had only 100 amp hour batteries, but then we doubled our battery capacity and we...
Lithium.
Yeah, all lithium iron. And we added the shunt to have more visibility in our electricity consumption.
And how much solar panels do you have and the inverter?
We have 300 watts solar panels and our inverter is 1500 watts. And we also have a DC-DC charger of 20 amp hours. So when we drive, it also charges.
And how it works so far?
Yeah, good actually. The sun shines always where we are. At least that's what we where we drive to, where the sun shines. So far so good. So this is our spice rack called Spy C with our plants as well. So yeah, we just have heaps of spices and we love fresh food. So most of the time our countertop is filled with veggies and fruits and yeah, everything we eat.
So on this side we have 2 other cabinets with her and his wardrobes. And as you see, Sophie's very filled up compared to mine.
Well, I think that, yeah, traveling in a van, of course you have to downsize. But we've already been traveling for a long time. We met each other in Australia and we had a backpack. So way more fits in the van than fits in the backpack.
Absolutely.
So it's actually really comfortable to live in a van because we can stack up our clothing pretty much. But still we try to keep it as little as possible.
Yeah. What I love about these cabinets is our self-closing. These brackets are from IKEA. They just close like this.
And they just hold, you don't have to...
Yeah, exactly. They never open or anything. There's no magnets or anything. They just hold stuck there.
And how you came up with this idea to do van lifing?
I think we were traveling and then we came back to Europe. I guess you know why. And we looked for ways to still keep on traveling. And I think nowadays it's crazy expensive to buy apartments and we love the freedom. So the van seemed to be the perfect option to continue our travel experience.
Yeah, and we looked around for quite a while and didn't really find anything. But then eventually we found the van that was ours. So we went, looked at it and bought it straight away. And then here we are with our home on wheels.
Why did you choose exactly this van?
It was actually very difficult to find a van we were looking for. We needed a van that I could be able to stand in, which is pretty good. And
how tall are you?
I'm 185. So we both have insulation both on the floor and on the ceiling. So it still have some, like a couple of centimeters to spare.
What did you use for the insulation?
So the insulation is 60mm Armor Flex, both on all walls and the floor. And the bed here, it's about 90 centimeters tall. And this is just a mattress we bought that we cut into shape. It's a foam mattress. We use an insulation knife and cut it into shape. And then underneath here, it's just IKEA bed slabs mounted on some ribs.
Oh, what is the bed measurement?
So we decided to use space as much as possible. So we made inlets. So the bed is a bit wider than the rest of the van.
Yep.
So the bed is 189 by 140. I'm very short, so I can lay on the side and Jim can lay sideways.
Yeah, unfortunately I'm touching the walls.
Well,
he
fits perfectly, but then you want to stretch. But yeah, it works and it's very cozy in the van.
Yeah.
The one thing we really wanted was like a stationary bed, so we don't have to make the bed every evening. That would be terrible for us.
Yeah.
Why you decide not to build like a shower and bathroom?
Well, we thought about it, but also looking at the space, the van is 5 meters 80 long, so it's not so big, and we want to keep the space as open as possible. And because we're traveling where the sun shines, we can easily shower outside. So from the countertop, we also use the wood to be able to cover the sink. So we have more working area, and if we have something to cover up, we can just fit it under here.
And this all cabinets you build by yourself, or it's IKEA cabinet and you just rebuild it?
All by ourselves. We actually went to IKEA to have a look, and then we had a consultation with one of the IKEA workers, and then we walked out of IKEA, we looked at each other and we said, no, okay, we're gonna build it ourselves, and we're very happy. It was a massive hassle to get all the sliders working perfectly, so we built the boxes in the front and everything, and we're very happy with it.
We added about 700 kilos on top of the van, including the water tank as well.
Yeah.
So what is the total weight now?
The total weight is 2,750 kilos.
Unloaded, so without all our
Water.
no, with water, but without our clothes and kitchen stuff, and just
Empty van. with
Empty
water.
van.
The van itself can be 3.5 tons.
Yes.
Yeah. But because we're so small, we didn't really have to worry, because the van when we bought it was 2,100 kilos, I think.
Yeah.
Empty van.
Yeah, so it was perfect. So up here we have some extra storage as well. It's just jackets and other stuff. We also store some hangers, so when we do laundry, we can utilize the space here to let it dry. And then down here, we boxed in the chair from the front. So we have shoe box and some storage and
Laundry chute.
as well. And then if Jim is driving, I can just go back and forward pretty easily. And then we can get some stuff from the back and jump back in the front.
Yeah.
And this one can go up. So we can have a third person with us who is sometimes sleeping in the front as well.
So we also have a curtain here, so we install it on a wooden bar. So here's our curtain. It's actually not fully...
Blocking the sun.
no.
So just for privacy in the city.
Yeah. And Jim wanted to have a full blackout curtain, but I prefer to have some light coming in. But maybe we will change it to a full blackout curtain in the future.
And down here we have our carbon monoxide alarm because of our diesel heater. And we also have a fire extinguisher, of course. And also down here we have our DC-DC cutoff. So when we're driving, we can be able to turn on the DC or turn it off, whichever we want during driving.
So the car we bought is an Opel Movano from 2010, and it has around 130,000 Ks driven. We're very happy with it so far. She's doing great. I think the car has 116 horsepower, but I'm not 100% sure.
So around that, yeah.
And we drive around 8 liters on 100 kilometers. Depends if we drive steep uphill in Spain or flat in the Netherlands, but around 8-9 liters.
Yeah.
And if you drive steep uphill, the speed drops or stays?
Yeah, like in driving on the highways here in Spain, and it goes a little bit uphill. I mean, we have to change gear. We sometimes even go down to the 4th gear, and yeah, it goes very slow sometimes.
And then what speed are you usually cruising?
Actually, we never go above 100 kilometers an hour. Like we stay from 100 kilometers and below.
We just see that the fuel consumption goes up after 100, and we're van lifers, so we have the time to take a little bit more time to travel from destination A to B.
And how do you sustain your living?
I'm working on the road. I have my own company, which I started beginning of this year. It's called Virtual Sophie, and I'm a virtual assistant focusing on social media, project management, and personal assistance.
And you have a website.
Yeah, but it's under construction.
What will be the name?
It's gonna be virtualsophie.nl.
And I'm just taking care of Sophia. It's like massaging her and cooking her some food. So yeah, that's my full-time job.
One thing we like to do is grow avocado seeds. So they start off like this and they become like this.
Welcome to our garage, and down on the right side here we have our water system. We have a 105 liter water tank together with a little small water pump and accumulator tank. And shout out to Elliot McGee, he actually came up with a great idea to have this connector here so we can disconnect the hoses and take out the whole water tank and clean it whenever we need to.
So we decided to have water on this side of the van and all the electricity on the other side of the van, which turned out to be a very good decision. The water tank is 105 liters and the grey water tank is 20 liters. this is our shower, which we can place anywhere. And then we have, you can also sing in the shower. But we have two special hoses which is also used for drinking water. One is 5 and one is 10 meters. So we have a connection here. So we can just add the Gardena hose on here, which then adds on here as well. And we can shower because we have a pump, which is pressurized system. So when we open it here, then the water will start flowing.
But cold shower.
Cold shower. But as I already said, we follow the sun, so. And then our filling port is at the top, so it works with the same Gardena connection. So we just plug it in and fill up our water tank.
So under the water tank as well, we have also built in some storage. So here's the wheel well, and then we have some little hatch here where we can store some extra stuff.
We also have these little shelves where we store our towels. And then Jim made a special detail in our wall above our head, where we store some pictures of people who are dear to us and a little cactus plant as well. We also have like hooks where we can store our camping table on. So it slides in there because it's quite bulky. Further on we just have like lots of food, some drinks, some toolbox, water, drinking water. Because we're in Spain, we prefer to drink the bottled water, and then we just have extra light here as well. The doors are insulated all the way as well with Armaflex, and then we covered them with plywood panels, which we stained in the color walnut.
Are these dolls something special or just?
They're actually our mascots, which we got from Jim's mom, so they're traveling with us wherever we go. So we really wanted to have a wooden floor. As you can see, it's pretty thick. So it's the Armaflex, then the old floor, a layer of foam, and then it's a laminate flooring on top. So it's a real laminate floor. We just went to a shop and picked our floor. And what we did is we just put the whole floor in before we added anything else. So it's all even and same in line with the laminate flooring.
And if you would do everything again from the scratch, would be there something you would change or do different?
I think there's one main thing.
Yeah, the grey water tank we would absolutely install it underneath the van and outside the van. Now we have it just under the sink, so we could easily discharge the grey water tank as well. Because now we have to take out the whole can and then empty it outside.
The rest, I think we thought everything through, and we discussed everything over and over, and we taped actually all in the van where what would be. So we were like, okay, let's move around. I guess the main thing we would change is to buy a little bit of a bigger van, so we would have some more space. Now it's a bit dancing in the kitchen if we're both in there, but it works, and our backyard is very big, so that's amazing.
And how looks your future? You will be traveling in the van for a while. You want to build another one, or do you like this one?
Good question. We don't know yet what the future holds. We would love to go to Australia again and maybe build a van over there too. But for now, we will just live in Lea. So we're very happy, and we will be following the sun.
Are you documenting your travels somewhere?
Yes, we have our own Instagram account, vanlife Lea, vanlife_Lea, where we show our travels and what we experience.
All right. Thank you so much for showing your van.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.